Hello my dear students, this is Brijesh Kumar. Today I am going to teach you problem play. My dear students, problem play is a subgenre of drama which was popularized by Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen. He is a playwright as well as a theatre director, and he is referred sometimes as the father of realism because of his precise and accurate depiction of various social problems of his time. Dear students, in a problem play, the author puts forward the problem of the protagonist as the representative problem of the society. What exactly happens in a problem play that the problem that is faced by the protagonist or the leading character of the play is projected as the contemporary social problem, and it is shown as if that has disturbed not only the protagonist but lots of other people too in the society. So always in a problem play you will find that the protagonist is a kind of representative of the society, and the playwright depicts the contemporary social problem with the help of that particular leading character or protagonist. And after putting forward that particular problem before the audience or the reader, the playwright proposes a kind of solution to that problem that goes against the prevailing contemporary opinion of that particular society. And here, the whole of the drama is problematized because most of the people, they have their own mindset, they have their own traditions, they have their own culture and conventions, and they always derive the solution of any problem on the basis of those conventions or traditions. But here, a dramatist suggests something that is totally against the prevailing opinion of that society, and this becomes, the norm of a problem play. In order to better comprehend the idea of a problem play, let us have a normal example from our day-to-day life and think like a problem playwright. You must have seen in our society that intercaste marriages or inter-religious marriages are not permissible in middle class society. But what happens if any couple elopes or any couple marries without telling to their family members and then they elope? Then what happens? The whole of the family thinks that whatever they have done is not right, and if somehow the family is able to get those people caught in produced before the village panchayat, then a certain kind of verdict is passed that both of them, they are not allowed to live inside the village, or both of them, they must be separated from one another and must go to their own respective houses. This is the normal, conventional, as well as traditional way of passing a verdict, or giving the solution of a social problem. But what happens to a problem playwright? He hardly gives the solution that is adjustable in the society, that the people of the society will easily accept or digest. And in that case, he may say that fine, if both of them, they have married, they have full right to live in the same village to which they belong. And when a problem playwright says this or writes this, whole of the community, whole of the society gets infuriated with that person, and this is how a problem play is written. This is how a problem playwright thinks about the problem. And after having a look of a normal problem of a day-to-day life, let's have a classical example, that is Henrik Ibsen's three-act play A Doll's House. My dear students, in this play, there's a couple whose names are Nora Helmer and her husband Torvald. Torvald is a bank employee, and Nora Helmer is just a housewife, and she always tries to make her husband happy in whatsoever ways it is possible. And once she has taken loan from a person Krogstad without telling to her husband in order to save his life, her husband's life, and then this person Krogstad turns out to be a cheater, and he works in the same bank where Torvald works, and he is about to be fired by Torvald because both of them, they were childhood friends in Krogstad. Krogstad does not behave well with Torvald, so Torvald wants to get rid of him. And when Krogstad comes to know that he is going to be fired from the post, he comes to Nora Helmer and tells that the documents which she has submitted was a forged document, and he will bring that forgery in the eyes of the public if she does not somehow stop his dismissal from the bank. And then she tells this thing. She does not tell that she has taken or she has borrowed money from Krogstad on forged document. All these things she does not tell to her husband, but she tells times and again to her husband that he must stop the dismissal of Krogstad. And this is how both of them, they just keep on talking, and finally what happens, one day Torvald comes to know that Nora Helmer has cheated on him. And then both of them, they kind of keep on quarreling to a great extent, and Torvald says that now you are not entitled to live in my house, but I will not allow you to go outside. You can live in my house, but we will live together without talking to one another. We will just kind of live under one roof, and we will never talk like husband and wife. This is the condition which Torvald furnishes before Nora Helmer, and she is shocked. But suddenly Torvald gets another letter into which it is written that Krogstad is not going to disclose this forgery before the public. And suddenly, on knowing this particular information, Torvald gets very happy, and he goes to Nora Helmer and tries to appease her, telling that she must not be unhappy with him. But what happens? Nora Helmer says that it's enough. I cannot live with you anymore. I am someone who is a stranger in this house. And after that, she leaves the house. She leaves her children, as well as she leaves Torvald too. And this is the solution that has been furnished by this Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen, that to a great extent, almost, remember, to a great extent was against the contemporary prevailing opinion of Norwegian society in those days. So this is how a story is written, which we consider, or people consider or categorize as a problem play. And this is all about problem play. I hope that you must have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone. Thank you students.